How we doing, chat? We good? Can you hear me? We doing all right? Let me get some screens open. Happy Hump Day. It's January 27th. Let's kill the music. If it ain't Jalen Carter, I don't want to hear it. Oh, man. Happy Wednesday, boys and girls. I hope you guys made it okay without me yesterday. It was a 3-game late lock slate. You guys know the deal, man. If it ain't worth chatting about, I don't just put up empty content. So yesterday was a maintenance day. Got some stuff done. And today we're back at it. Much bigger slate. The scheduling powers that be they're killing us, man. Small slate, giant slate. Small slate, giant slate. They don't just give us a bunch of 6 and 8 smooth games. I'm hoping on the flip side of the All-Star break, we get some more balanced schedules. But that remains to be seen. We'll see. Anyway, happy Wednesday, boys and girls. Last night, 3 games on the docket. Let's pull up what ended up happening. I had too much Nick Batum, but I did have Rudy Gobert on DraftKings with Boogie. Those were the 3 must-haves. Reggie Jackson, it says right here 3.3K. He was not 3.3K. It was almost 7K, but he was well worth it. The chalky build was to run Beal at John Wall, throw Boogie in there, and that actually was not great. So if you guys went a little contrarian there, went and got a Trae Young and some Gobert, like I said, on DraftKings, you did all right. But it was an underwhelming, kind of a flat 3-gamer. Tonight should be a lot crazier, a lot more wild, and we'll have some fun. Anyway, we are live on YouTube. If you guys want to show some love off the top, man, just hit that thumbs up. And if you follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/Gundacker, retweet my tweet, man. Let's get the party going. Let's get people out here, get people in here. I'm going to bring in Raj. Speaking of Raj, shout out to Troy Meets World. He bought the rights to the green screen today, and let me go invisible for a second. All right, can I do that? Can I go invisible for a second? Invisible webcam source invisible. That, my friends, is Raj's mug. And if you guys didn't or want to know why Raj is my background, well, we've been selling the rights to the green screen, $20 a pop, and having some fun with it. We saw Darian's mug up there on Monday. You guys can do anything with it. If you have a small business that isn't toxic or illegal, you can put something up there. If you just want to show love to a player that won you some money last night, or just a meme, whatever it is, as long as it's non-toxic and terms of service friendly, I'm game. $20 to get you access to it. Troy Meets World. Wanted to put Raj's face up there. Raj, of course, that's a screenshot from his music video. You Ain't the One. I'm gonna bring Raj in because I'm gonna say something that's borderline racist, and I need Raj to make it okay. Yo. Hello. Wait. Raj.
You hear me?
There we go.
Okay.
There we go. So Raj.
Yep.
Do you know how green screens work?
You just upload an image. I don't really know. You upload an image.
It's basically it's like a chroma key feature, and basically if the software if it sees that color green, it's going to make it transparent. Okay. So if I had a green shirt on, I would be invisible. Yeah. You're green, bro. Your skin is green, and it's kind of struggling, dog. My head is fading into you, so
it's like that. All good. That's what use the album cover.
I mean, that would have been not as funny. I don't know. So my head is just fading into your head at time. I don't know. It's weird.
Oh, okay. Cool. Got it.
What's up, bro?
Shout out AD. Get that Jalen Carter plug in there.
No, that was that was Troy Meets World.
Troy Meets World. Shout out Troy Meets World.
Rod, your shoot job, as the wrestlers say. You're a financial investor, right?
Yeah.
Could you explain why everyone's talking about GameStop to me?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, there's no there's no reasonable factor that it should be climbing this high and
So
this fast.
it's just a meme, right? It's just Elon Musk.
There's no new technology. There's no new
Okay.
product. You know what I mean? There's nothing to back it. It's literally it's like groupthink, a group confidence. Sometimes stock just when a group of people start thinking one way, they put it out there, and then it just kind of takes life on its own.
From an outsider's perspective, from what I see, it looks like Elon Musk retweeted some Reddit thing, and it became a meme, and people invested in a meme,
following,
and they're just sticking.
With his following, it's just one of those things where it took off. People are like a lot of prominent investors have been essentially predicting a huge crash, which will come eventually because there's no product that supports this. But they've lost millions these past couple weeks. They've lost millions.
I think it's hilarious.
It's going to happen. I just don't know when. Yeah.
So the young kids are memeing the rich old white people.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious. I think it's funny, but I don't know.
The boss joke is a bunch of Robinhood traders screwing up the market. Which is exactly what's happening.
That's funny. Anyway, we are live on YouTube. Shout out to the live chat hanging out. Sergio, what it is? Gun won $25 last night. It's been a while. Let's go, Sergio. Dean, Quan, Mitchell Gelfund, Sway McThunder, Earth to Air. Dean says, and still heavyweight champion of bad takes, Raj the show.
Shout out Dean. Shout out Dean's been showing some nice snapshots lately of some lineups that have been really close.
Yeah,
or banking.
He's trying to get back. Dean won $100K a year or two back, and you're trying to. It's like winning the championship, right? You just want to get back to that feeling. So Dean's out there grinding. What up, Darren? Brody says. What up, Gun? Haven't been in a live video yet this year. Been extremely busy, but glad to be here today. I don't know if you remember me from last year, but let's see. Yeah, I recognize your name, Mullinger. Brady Mullinger. What's up, Brady? Brody, not Brady. Excuse me. Hope you've been doing all right. Crispy in the house. What's up, Gun? Which low-owned stud goes bonkers tonight? LeBron, Luka, ABC, or Embiid?
I do like Embiid. Shout out Embiid.
Let me revisit that in a bit, right? Yeah. Raj looks like Usher.
Yeah. I think he's a little more handsome, but appreciate it.
Jack, in a fantasy basketball league, should I trade away Rudy Gobert, DeMar DeRozan, and Devin Booker for Cat, Drew Holiday, and D'Angelo Russell? Gobert, DeRozan, Booker. No, I want the first. In season long, Gobert, DeRozan, and Booker seem a little bit more consistent. D'Lo's the deal breaker for me there. Like I would like Cat. Where Rudy Gobert is going to give you the different categories, assuming that you guys play blocks and rebounds and stuff like that. DeRozan is DeRozan, right? He's fadeable. But in season long, he's going to be out there steady, playing his 30 minutes. And Devin Booker, he's flat as well. But in season long, they play a road. D'Lo, I don't know. I would stick with the first one. Rod looks like Middle Eastern Clay Thompson. Does he? Yeah, I guess he kind of does.
Shout out Klay Thompson. Get healthy soon.
I legit thought Raj was McLovin. Relieved to see it isn't. No, check. We need to get Raj on the cam, and this isn't a dig. This is not a dig at any other DFS content provider because I love them all. I have so many friends in the industry, and it's nothing but love for me to everyone. You don't see me on Twitter in wars with nobody. Mm-hmm. But no one's more diverse than the Gundacker streams, man. My last 4 or 5 co-hosts, Raj, he's Sri Lankan. Chronic's a brother. Darian's a brother. I've had who else has been on? Chris, Spanish. Like I don't know if other than Jake, I can't think of a white co-host I've ever had, and like no one knows it because we've just been audio. So like,
I want to say the industry is predominantly white males, like 80%.
Yeah, well, especially the faces of it. I've also had, we've had females on it, and my old lady's done videos. So, like, we're diverse. I'm showing love. Not that I'm just saying, like, we out here, we don't need affirmative action. That's just who we are. We out here, we vibing. We vibe. I don't care. But, yeah, all these other streams are very white. But it is what it is. It's a protest by amateur investors. They're jacking up a hedge fund. Yeah, pitch right. That's kind of the gist I got. There's a lot of stuff I'm on the outside on. Like I I should be in stocks more, especially, working in predictive analytics as much as I do.
Yeah, there's definitely a correlation. You might as well.
But
like the models you build to predict home runs,
mm-hmm.
you do the same to predict stocks, which is what.
No, I definitely it's something I need to do. I need to do it, but I've missed the boat on crypto. I missed the boat. I get stocks. I guess you can get in whatever. I haven't got into this Top Shot stuff yet. I feel like I'm missing the boat on that. I'm just out here playing DFS, so hopefully I'll catch something. I'll catch some lightning in a bottle sooner or later. Anyway, Fantasy Labs, 3 p.m. every day. They tweet out news to watch. So, LeBron James, questionable. That's been every game. AD, probable. DeMontis Sabonis, questionable. He went down last game, didn't come back. So I would kind of be surprised if he just comes back the next game, but I think his x-rays were negative, so maybe nothing is wrong. They were just being overly cautious. Pascal Siakam, questionable. Clint Capella, questionable. D'Angelo Russell, questionable. Tyler Hero, questionable. He's missed quite a few games. And Al Horford, questionable. Though that is the news to watch according to Fantasy Labs. Van Jones, who's the Canadians' value play of the day? We'll get there. Raj, is it on Spotify? Oh, Raj's music video, chat. Man, Raj, one of these days.
Yeah.
Maybe at the end of this video, if we get 100 likes, we'll go home on the video. You guys want that, chat? If we get 100 likes on this stream, I'll end the stream with Raj's music video.
It's also on all streaming platforms.
It is.
Apple Music, Spotify, whatever floats your boat.
And if you wanted to search it, it's I'll type it in chat. Jalen Carter, you ain't the one. It's actually kind of catchy. Bang. I drove to Minnesota. It was in my head the whole time.
That's talking about. The picture is just at the club when they reopen or whatever. It's like, but all these heartbroken girls, whatever, just singing it drunk. You ain't the one. You know what I mean? Thinking about the crazy exes and all that.
The crazy exes.
Yeah, whatever it is, man. Whatever they want to say, you ain't the one to.
What up, Ryan Gavin, Shadow Stefan, Clarkson Date, maybe. Paul Akizi made 2.3x my entry fees on FanDuel, lost 7x my entry fees. How do you lose 7x your entry fees?
You should lose it all, Jeff. 7 entries.
You talking about on the season? Wait, how do you lose 7x your entry fees? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you can't lose more than your entry fees.
OG's question with Casey Banton in there. Chat, we're going to jump into it. I do want to remind you guys, not remind, but I want to announce officially on stream. Every year we've been adding a popular All-Star to All-Star break VIP pass. Essentially, it's the NBA All-Star break to the baseball All-Star break in July. I let it go up a few weeks early. So if you guys did get it, you would have the next 2 weeks kind of just built in for free. So if you guys want to lock in, get daily NBA coverage, and then bleed into baseball. And then, of course, we still have Smeezy in charge of NASCAR. We got Kyle from Fantasy Domination helping us out with some NHL spins. You guys can do so right now at rundfs.com. Of course, the week passes, 2 week pass, month pass, all that stuff's still there. But just want to let you guys know that we did drop the All-Star to All-Star break pass. Go check that out. We'll talk more about that later, but it comes with daily pre-lock Discord chats, proprietary spreadsheet access, projections, all of that good stuff. Let's talk basketball. Tons of games tonight. The Detroit Pistons at the Cleveland Cavaliers. That's where we're going to get it started. Project start at 5 for the Pistons. DeLon Wright, Wayne Ellington, Sadiq Bey, Jeremy Grant, Mason Plumlee, and that could be different. I just pulled that from Roto Wire. Up against Darius Garland, Colin Sexton, Isaac Okoro, Larry Nance Jr., and Andre the Giant Drummond. The Cavs lineup, we're waiting on news for Larry Nance. He missed the last game. I got him officially questionable, dealing with a right wrist. He was forced to the sidelines on Monday, and that resulted in Torrent Prince getting the start. It'll likely be more of the same if he's out again. Check back for another update. So if Nance doesn't play, you might see Prince in the starting lineup, and then it'll look something like this. And then on the Pistons side, we've seen a few games without Blake Griffin and D. Rose. Today, there's going to be no Blake Griffin. D. Rose projected to be back into the mix. Derrick Rose has been the topic of a couple of trade rumors over the last couple of days. And I've even heard him linked to the Knicks, which Tom Thibodeau, man, he just wants to go and get all of his Bulls. Derrick Rose, Taj Gibson, back in the mix. I'm waiting for him to just call Joakim Noah or something, get him out of retirement. Project total right here, 215 is our total, 2.5 point spread favor the home team Cavaliers. So I think the first couple names that kind of stick out to me, I'm going to talk about Jeremy Grant. I've been hyping this dude up slate after slate. His usage rate and his shot volume have been sky high, but the end column hasn't been as favorable. But essentially, you look at the 2 games prior to the last game where he did explode, 19 shot attempts, 15 shot attempts, and he's shooting very poorly. He was 15%, 26%. Just not great, but the peripherals were there and the usage was there. He's leading the team in usage, and he's often up there in minutes as well. And he's been getting to the line. 10 for 10 from the free throw line last game against the Philadelphia 76ers. So, again, I will always chip in a chair Jeremy Grant, and I think this is a softer matchup. I would like this match more if Prince comes off the bench. Taron Prince, a really good defender. So 8,100 for Jeremy Grant. Yeah, I'll put him in my back pocket. I'll have some exposure to him. And then we'll talk about what DeLon Wright has been doing. He's had back-to-back really strong games. Of course, it's correlated with the absence of Derrick Rose at times. But 36 minutes in back-to-back games. Nick Nurse giving him some run here? I don't know. This has been an inconsistent minute guy. But as the starting...
Nurse.
Did I say Nick Nurse?
Yeah.
Casey? Dwayne Casey. Why did I say Nick? I just said the
Raptors.
Raptors. Yeah, the Raptors. Why did I say Nick Nurse? Dwayne Casey finally getting him some run here. The assist totals for him 9. The rebound rates up. And just the end column here. At 6,500, give me the north side of 30 fantasy points. 50 seems like outlandish anomaly ceiling. But against the Cavs, maybe I get there. So I think DeLon Wright and Jeremy Grant are the first 2 names that I'm kind of curious with. I think 5K for Wayne Ellington, that's going to be a no for me, dog. I'll also say Josh Jackson didn't get ejected last game, so that also probably helped DeLon Wright's minutes. Wright, Grant, probably no Plumlee for me today. Looking at the Cavs side, Andre Drummond, revenge game, 8,400 seems awfully cheap. We're still very trepidatious with these front court minutes. I would say if Larry Nance does get ruled out, Nance is a guy that represents 30-plus minutes in my projections. We'd spread those out. Jared Allen gets a little bit. Taron Prince opens up here. And I think Drummond against the Pistons would be something I'd be a buyer in. One of the things that I want to note about the Pistons is they're allowing the most blocks per game. And I think Andre Drummond could take advantage of that. He's averaging over 14 rebounds a game, but you throw in some stocks in the mix. At 8,400, is Drummond a free 45 in this matchup, Raj?
I mean, it's just the minutes. I mean, Jared Allen's going to play 25-plus minutes probably.
Dude, he played 28 minutes against the Lakers. Tough matchup. It doesn't get much tougher than the Lakers. 21 shot attempts, 17 rebounds. The Lakers.
So I guess in a Utah spot, 1v1, going Jeremy Grant or Drummond, same price.
Jesus, I gotta go Drummond, but the cherry on top for me is if Nance is out.
I think Nance is out. The report says he was wearing a brace on his hand last game, so I would assume he's out for a couple games.
Mm-hmm.
So if he's out, I expect him to be out. At 8-4, looking at the center position today, you have Joel Embiid. This is a FanDuel play. You're gonna have to give him up. Vooch against Sacramento. Capella's questionable against Brooklyn, though. Premier matchup. The center spot isn't. I'm not running to play these guys. They're in good spots, but I wouldn't say any lock. So, 8,400 seems like a free 40. But you definitely want a 50 bomb, like you said, against the Lakers. He got there in 28 minutes. So, against Detroit team, the revenge narrative, and an easier matchup. It could be a 20-20 spot. Maybe throw in a couple blocks, a couple of assists, and he could definitely win the slate for you. So, give me some Drummond here. On Detroit side, I'm going to stay away from DeLon Wright coming off a big game. Derrick Rose is back, so I think his minutes might take a little bit of a hit, and usage definitely going to take a hit. No Blake Griffin, so I'm going to go right back to Jeremy Grant. He shot better. He took less shots. The peripherals are going to be there. It's Cleveland, easy matchup. I think this could be a 50 bomb for him, so give me Jeremy Grant at 8-1. And I think that's all I'm really going to play today, just Grant and Drummond in this game.
Sexton's back down to 6,600. Any interest? He's averaging over 25 real points a game. If he gets you that floor of 25 points, could he get you that 35 to 40 fantasy points here? Maybe. Look at the live chat. Somebody named Solo DZ is calling me out. Name the site. All right, Fantasy Aces head to head. What the freak are you, bro? Don't come in here shaking the vibes, man. That's not what we do here.
He wants the head to head. Give him the action.
Like what? That's not what we do, man. Don't come in here with the bad vibes, bro. You trying to make a name for yourself?
I mean, hey, I'm with that. I'm with the smash with Adele Nader. I'm with his smoke. He just wants to smoke. I don't know if he's trying to be disrespectful. Just giving that a 1v1 gun. He wants the action.
I don't know, man.
Take his money.
Throw 20 or 150 in the 100K. See if you finish higher than me. Like I ain't got time for 1v1s. That's weird. What's up, Shadow Dog? Van Jones, all revenge lineup today. Chris Paul, Jeremy Lamb, Andre Iguodala, Andrew Wiggins, Drummond, D-Russ, Danny Green. Play them all for the win. All right. Drummond will crush today, but the narrative will drive ownership. I'd rather pivot to Turner or FanDuel. You think the narrative's still alive there for Drummond here? I mean, I guess, but
I don't think Drummond will be chalked.
I would say on this size slate, like maybe don't overthink ownership. Because this might be one of those slates where we don't have a lot of obscene chalk. Sure, a couple guys might float up there, especially like value plays that open up. But, I mean, we got a lot of studs on this slate. Bradley Beal without Russell Westbrook's in the mix here. So I probably wouldn't over-project Drummond's ownership, especially considering that, like, the general thought is the Cavs have 80 centers. So I don't think Drummond would be super high on it. I love the price, though. Huh?
Free Bradley Beal.
I
just feel so bad for him. You saw his face last game.
Yes, I feel so bad for Bradley Beal and his...
Yeah, making $30 million.
Yeah, $30 million. A poor guy. Oh, jeez, man. Some guys just have no luck. He signed the extension, bro. That team was, like, worse when he signed the extension. What do you want? Dude, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Drummond won't get much ownership to his, but yeah, that's where I'm at. ETC, what up, dog? Adam Beck, Plumlee at 30% on FanDuel. You think so? Are you projecting at 30%? Or are you saying you'll have 30% at 4,400? Like, I could see him getting there. Like, I'm not too worried about the Cavs front court, but
he's only 5,100 on DK. I'm still not. I don't know if I'll have 0.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, let's move on to the next game. Orlando Magic hosting Sacramento Kings. Project starting 5 for the Kings. De'Aaron Fox, Buddy Hield, Harrison Barnes, Marvin Bagley, Rashawn Holmes taking on Cole Anthony, Evan Fournier, James Ennis III, Aaron Gordon, too cheap on FanDuel, and Nikola Vucevic. A 224 total if you go to that team metrics chart in RunDFS.com. NBA VIP spreadsheet. Sacramento Kings, the worst defense in all of basketball. We've seen a couple slates so far in the past week where the Magic were almost a 3-stack nut stack, right? I'm going back to the well. I think on DraftKings, on FanDuel, Aaron Gordon's probably too cheap. We've seen him with some more ball handling responsibilities. Last slate, he didn't get me that 40 fantasy point threshold that I was hoping for, but he didn't miss it by much. The assist numbers have gone up. He's had some more ball handling responsibilities. I'm kind of shocked that he only took single-digit shot attempts in that game. I expect that to go up a little bit more. I think a triple-double's on the way, and could it come against the worst defense in basketball? Maybe. I love him on FanDuel. DraftKings, I probably start him as a tier 2B and go from there. I think Evan Fournier's in the mix for me on both sides, and Nikola Vucevic on both sides. You can make some backdoor cases for like a Terrence Ross. I got him at 30 minutes. 30-plus minutes is a chip in a chair against the worst defense, sure. And Cole Anthony's had a string of interesting games. I don't want to believe in it too fast. Like, I don't want to trust it. But I wouldn't push back against you if you showed me a lineup with it. And on the Kings side, De'Aaron Fox probably falls in no man's land in terms of field ownership because a lot of people will likely, go for some household value, some of the names, especially a guy like Bradley Beal without Westbrook. I think the Kings are a little bit more tricky to figure out. I think the Magic, somewhat self-explanatory over who the place could and should be. But what do you do? Where do you start with the Kings?
I mean, I would say my boy Harrison Barnes, but he he hasn't been looking the best lately. I mean, coming off a big game, that 44 bomb against New York out of nowhere, but he was giving you 16, 14, 29, 23 before that. So I'm at 6'2". If this game's going to shoot out, run up and down the court, I mean, I would go to him. He just plays a ton of minutes. Fox is interesting at 8'7". It's just, again, with Brogdon, no Sabonis possibly, Chris Paul, no Devin Booker. I think Fox could be a great tournament play here, playing 35-plus minutes past 3 games. Should be good for 40-plus, has that 50-point upside. Give me Fox here. And you mentioned on the Atlanta side, I mean, I want to say they're kind of mini big three of Fournier, Gordon, and Vooch. Mm-hmm. Play all those 3 together. If they can give you 130, you probably want 140 points. I'll take that. I'll definitely take that. I think it's possible. Like you said, the worst defense in the league. Well, maybe the second worst next to Brooklyn these days. But
yeah,
I like that. I like that big three stack too.
So
the prices are fine.
Touch on Fox just a little bit. The Magic, they were a solid defense, especially against guards. But ever since Markelle Fultz went down and MCW got injured, their point guard defense has definitely suffered. Cole Anthony is a step backwards, and Evan Fournier a step backwards. And we've actually seen them be a top 6 matchup for point guards for a fantasy perspective. Last couple games against the Magic are going to look a little wonky in terms of point guard archetype because Devontae Graham, Terry Rozier, LaMelo, even Gordon Hayward to an extent all have some ball handling responsibilities there. And then before that, Malcolm Brogdon, D'Angelo Russell, Elfrid Payton. I do like the thought that De'Aaron Fox is in a better spot than the field will realize. But at 8,700 on DraftKings, like that's too close to the big boy territory where I probably want a little bit more ceiling and probably a higher floor. I don't think I get to, I probably don't land on any of these Kings other than maybe like a tier 3 dart throw. If they fall, they fall.
Yeah. I mean, if I have lineups with 3 Magic, I would like to get a King in there, but
yeah. Let's go look at the live chat before we move on to the next one. Van Jones says Gordon's a better play dollar for dollar than Vucevic. I love Aaron Gordon's FanDuel price. Power forward is a guy that.
What's his FanDuel price?
6,800.
Okay, so he's 77 on DK.
68. Like in my head, I haven't started drawing out my tiers yet. In my head, 68 might be a tier 1 for me, for what his role is right now. His minutes are sky high. His usage is up there. The facilitating responsibilities are there, and it's the worst defense in basketball. Like 68, he could be a 50 bomb here. So I'll be in heavy investor there. Izzo says, "Hey Gun, just tuning in. Any tier 1s yet?" I'm thinking Gordon on FanDuel, if that's what you're talking about. Paul says the Wizards are down to 7 players. Yeah, it's a tough situation in Washington. I feel more bad for the Wizards fans than Bradley Beal.
No postponement? There's only 7 guys? Thought you needed 8.
I think he's talking about, because we were talking about Bradley Beal's situation. Yeah. All the Wizards players are GTD. Yeah, Raj is not trying to say his name. If anything, they would like maybe emergency active Westbrook or something. If it was like that, but I don't think that's what he was talking about. Thomas Kane just got here. Let me guess, you hate me because I'm a Nets fan. Amazing. Play Porzingis tonight. You're welcome. I'm holding down Staten Island. Staten Island in the house. South Beach. What's up?
The Aryan Fox.
Okay. That's not how you say it. That's not how you say
it.
But that's
De'Aaron Fox or De'Aaron Fox?
It's De'Aaron. But for some reason, in your Sri Lankan brain, for 2 years now, you've been calling him De'Aaron.
Yeah, because
it's
De'Aaron.
What do you mean? Yeah, cause there's no justification. You're saying it incorrectly.
De'Aaron is not a real name.
It's literally a real name. Raj, hold up. Raj, your name looks like someone punched a keyboard. Don't tell me De'Aaron's not a freaking real name.
My name's Culture.
Raj, get the freak out of here. The whole chat eating. Let's go.
De'Aaron, like Aaron Fox? Sure. De'Aaron? No, De'Aaron.
What's on the green screen? That's Raj's mug. Shout out to Troy Meets World. Threw $20 to put that on there. Let's move on to the next game. Indiana Pacers at the Charlotte Hornets. Project starting 5 for the Pacers. Malcolm Brogdon, Justin Holiday, Doug McDermott, Domantas Sabonis, maybe. Miles Turner taking on Devontae Graham, Terry Rozier, Gordon Hayward, P.J. Washington, Bismack Biyombo, the Big Mac Bimbo. 219.5 total, 2-point spread in favor of the Indiana Pacers. So the big news to watch here is Domantas Sabonis. He went down that last game, did not come back, but his x-rays came back negative. He's dealing with a left knee. His MRI revealed that Sabonis is dealing with nothing more than a bruised knee, and it's an excellent sign that he's being listed as questionable rather than getting ruled out a full 24 hours ahead of tip-off. So if I had to guess, I'd put him out right now, but what do I know? You leave a game, you don't come back. It was bad enough for you.
You get an MRI.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm assuming that he's out, but until he's out, he's in. He's questionable. So we've seen him play through some stuff before. Now, if he is out, Miles Turner really, really floats up at 7-1, 7-5. And somebody in chat was talking about, is Drummond too chalky? I think Turner would explode in ownership if we did get news that Sabonis was out, because Turner could play 38 minutes there. And I got no pushback on that either, because Turner has been insane, especially with the blocks. And this is a Hornets team that somewhat undersized. I could see some blocks coming his way. And then Malcolm Brogdon, push him to the top for me. I like him quite a bit. He's playable with Sabonis, but without Sabonis, we saw last game 60 fantasy points, still almost triple-double. So I think the Pacers are, I don't want to say stackable without Sabonis, because I don't want to be overly invested in like a McDermott or whatever. But if you show me a lineup, assuming Sabonis was out, that had Brogdon, Turner, and Jeremy Lamb, I wouldn't think.
Yeah, I mean, I like that big three over Orlando's, especially at their prices.
Yeah. This is the part where you continue that sentence. Did you just?
Yeah, I mean, okay. Again, so I mean, Charlotte, not a good team defensively. I mean, look at their trying giving it up to centers here. They're giving up. I mean, 54 DK, so they're definitely in the red. I want to say bottom 10. Small forwards, they're one of the worst in the league. They're bottom 5. Yeah, bottom 5 against small forwards. Jeremy Lamb, small forward spot. Point guards, kind of middle of the road, but Malcolm Brogdon with no Sabonis. I really kind of like those three. I mean, all three of those could smash. Especially Sabonis. I mean, you're going to give Turner, you're going to give him the blocks and the peripherals he gets. And with no Sabonis, you know he's going to have to score 20-plus real-life points, maybe even try to push 30. So, and they got to get, someone's got to collect those 15 to 10 rebounds that Sabonis was going to get this game. Give a couple of those to Turner. It's just an absolute smash spot. So, give me all three of those guys. And give me my boy Gordon Hayward. Best haircut in the league. Handsome stud. Playing like a stud, too.
So if Sabonis is in, what are you doing?
If Sabonis is in,
9,500. I mean, 9,500 is some company, right? Like he's up there with LeBron James is 400 away. He'd be more expensive than Embiid and Steph Curry. Like, and with the knee thing in the back of your mind, would you?
Yeah, like I feel like I'll definitely fade him. I mean, do I end up fading Indiana? I mean, I don't think they're priced up.
I think Brogdon is in the mix regardless.
There. Yeah, Brogdon at 8,600, I'll play. Jeremy Lamb, probably not. Turner, you can still play him at 7-5. Not comfortable. I'm not running to play him like I would if Sabonis is out. Like, I'd probably just find the extra bit for Drummond. Mm-hmm. But I think Brogdon will only be the core guy. And again, Charlotte, I think it's just the way Hayward's playing. Just give me Gordon Hayward.
Since we like revenge today, Jeremy Lamb revenge game back in Charlotte. Could be a buyer.
There it is.
Let's see what you guys got in the live chat. Raj the Goat. Johnny Thins is Cypher PK behind you, gun. Okay, I can see it. Cypher PK. Okay.
I don't know who Cypher PK is.
Cypher PK, he's a big Fortniter, but he has that. I don't know.
Okay, I just googled him. He's light skinned. Okay.
A little lighter skinned than you. Yeah. No, that's Raj. Chat. Green screen's $20. You want the green screen tomorrow? Hit me up on Twitter, twitter.com/GunDeckerSports. $20. I'll give you the whole stream, but if we get a lot of interest, I'll do it in like 30-minute blocks. DT has a huge game coming. DT. I don't know who DT is. Eric, what up, Young C? Raj looks like he smokes dope. Limo tint on them lips.
Music video lighting.
Okay, gotcha. I'm playing Turner regardless. Yeah, I do think like Miles Turner's in the mix, but he certainly would not be a safe play because even though like the blocks are up, the rebounds are they look pretty Brook Lopez-y without or with Sabonis. So I think if Sabonis is out, then yeah, Turner at 7,500. I'd be an investor because the Hornets do have some undersized guys. Their blocks allowed isn't as high as you might think it is. At what 5.5. So I think that we said the Pistons are at the top here. So blocks allowed per game. Charlotte's about league average. So, but I do think a guy like Turner can still go against this lineup and still get some blocks.
Because Lamb has been starting, right? So he might start if Sabonis out.
How would they do that? I mean, I guess they could. They might get really weird with like a Jakar Sampson, but Lamb could play the 3 and Doug McDermott at the 4, something like that. And play small against the Hornets, and that's fine. But yeah, Lamb without Sabonis would be one of my higher owned guys, right? Green screen worth every penny, fellas. Yes, sir. It could be like, guys. It doesn't have to be an ad. I know the first one was an ad, but it could be memes. It could just be funny stuff like this. I kind of prefer this. If no Sabonis, I'm smashing the button on Turner. I'm with that. Somebody had said that Lorenzo said Turner wouldn't be higher owned than Drummond because of the narrative price. I think Turner would be. I think the field is getting smarter than that, Lorenzo. That's just me, though.
Without Sabonis, I expect Turner and Brogdon them to be chalk and Lamb. I think people start their lineups with Brogdon and Turner.
Yeah. Any tackle fall on DK? Yeah, about 100%. Solo is on one. Let's move on to the next game. Brooklyn Nets at the Atlanta Hawks. Project starting 5 for the Nets. Kyrie Irving, James Harden, Joe Harris, Kevin Durant, DeAndre Jordan. Taking on Trae Young, Kevin Huerter, DeAndre Hunter, John Collins, Clint Capella. Hawks, one of the few teams on a back-to-back today. 6.5-point spread in favor of the visiting Nets. 238.5 total. So this game could put up a lot of points. We actually saw the Nets and the Hawks, a previous version of the Nets earlier this season, put up a lot of points, right? So add in James Harden and take away whatever defense the Nets had. This game could get real crazy real fast. Let's go to the Atlanta Hawks injury report because I had Q tags on everybody. I got Trae Young probable. He was a nut play last night. Rajon Rondo is questionable to play due to an ankle sprain. The sprain might explain why Rondo only saw 6 minutes last night when he scored just 2 points with 2 turnovers. Brandon Goodwin played 16 minutes, scoring 7 points with 3 rebounds. So if Rondo doesn't play, Goodwin will probably get all of the Rondo minutes. Cam Reddish Jr. is questionable due to an Achilles tightness. His nagging injuries have sidelined him for 4 games this month, and there's a decent chance he misses a 5th on Wednesday. He missed last night as well. After being listed as probable for Tuesday's game, he was downgraded after warm-ups. If he's unable to give it a go, expect more minutes for Kevin Huerter, who made 3 triples. These are all blurbs from RotoWorld, by the way, giving them some credit. That's from Brad Rowland. So shout out to them for the news. Danilo Gallinari is probable, and Clint Capella listed as questionable due to hand soreness. He missed Sunday's game with the injury, but he came back to score 13 with 18 rebounds last night against the Clippers. So I would expect pretty much everyone that played last night, other than Rondo, seems like we would assume they're in until they're not. DeAndre Hunter had 16 shot attempts last night as well. So this is a game that probably scores a lot of real and fantasy points. Trae Young's 9,200 on DraftKings. Why does this feel like the historical Trae Young trap spot, right? This is like the elite spot at 9,200. And we're all trying to, unless, maybe people still go to Bradley Beal here. But Trae Young's in a really, really good spot at 10-6 on FanDuel. That is an awfully high price to pay for a guy that doesn't give you the warm and fuzzies in terms of safety, but is certainly a ceiling spot. A 238 total. I mean, this total might push 240 as we get closer to tip-off. Clint Capella's 9,100 on DraftKings, 10-5 on FanDuel. I want to attack the Brooklyn Nets, Raj. I think this is a really, really bad defense. But I'm not getting prices that I feel like I'm getting a good deal on when it comes to these Hawks, right? Clint Capella's 10.5K on FanDuel. Oh, my God.
I mean, he's 9-1 on DK, which, again, is still a high price tag. A little bit more comfortable.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the only guy who I kind of like the price is DeAndre Hunter. At 6'5", I think there's still some meat on the bone there. This matchup, 40 plus. Give me some Hunter. Play some Trae Young. Again, this is Brooklyn worst defense in the league. This could be a spot he gets 60 plus. The minutes, pace. It's a game you want to target. So give me Trae Young. Give me DeAndre Hunter. A guy like John Collins, I think, is interesting. 41, 45 pass through games at 7-7. He could get you 50 plus, especially in this matchup. Don't hate it. Cam Reddish is questionable. So if he sits, there's a guy like Kevin Huerter possibly spices things up for you. I'm not ready to play it. Gallinari's back, so I think he might take a little bit away from him. But it's an option. Brooklyn side, I'm just going to fade all these studs. I mean, they're all 10K plus. Kyrie's 8-8. Mm-hmm. That's a little intriguing, but I just probably won't get to him today. Slate.
So, I got 3 games sample size, obviously, with Durant, Harden, Kyrie. When they're all on the court together, Durant has a 29% usage rate. Kyrie is at 26.4%, and James Harden's at 21%. All of them averaging over a fantasy point per minute, but Durant's leading the pack. And I've said it before, I'm kind of just treating this like the Golden State Warriors of yesteryear, where it was KD, Clay, Steph, and I was just like, whoever goes off, goes off. I'm going to hope somewhere else. I don't need them. And this is a big enough slate where I can go somewhere else. But I also just think this game could produce a lot of real points. So maybe I tier 3. I feel like I'm out on Harden until further notice, even though his price is, oh my God, 9.8. Wow. But he just seems like he's taking a backseat shot volume-wise. KD is 10-7 to 10-3. Even at 50, he may not be the nuts on this slate. But I still feel like I'm inclined to have a little piece of that. I think Kyrie just makes the best argument here. But do I rather have Brogdon or Steph Curry or Bradley Beal? I think I might be with you on just being out on the Nets.
Yeah.
And hoping for the best. Hawks. Looking at the chat, Paul says the Hawks got value with the Clippers playing at a slow pace yesterday. Imagine facing a worse defense in a fast-paced matchup. Yes, I agree with that to an extent. But again, Trae Young's 50 on a 3-game slate where nobody else was competing with it at 10.6K is a little less lucrative on a big slate. So I definitely get the argument, though. Much better matchup tonight than – I don't even know – yeah, it's a much better matchup defensively just because it's the Nets. But yesterday's Clippers team was not your normal Clippers team. All the Hawks are overpriced on DK except Trae and Hunter. If Capella plays, then I don't see Collins making past halftime with 4 fouls. I like Hunter a lot. Makes a lot of sense. Mitch's dad game.
That 2 last game against Brooklyn, and he smashed.
Yeah. Mitch Dad Gaming, you ever play Super Draft? I have. I actually last year had Super Draft projections in the spreadsheet, but it didn't seem like enough people and enough of my subscribers were interested to support it, and then it just seemed like all the Super Draft players were products of sharp sites, and I don't know. But I have played on Super Draft. I don't play it as often. Or I haven't played it since last season. Ryan, thoughts on Drummond? I like Drummond a lot. Love the matchup. Love the price. Love the block potential. My exposure to Drummond probably is contingent on Larry Nance's status. But I like him regardless. But definitely think if Nance is out, I'm a little bit more interested. What happened? Did my stream kind of blip out there? Chat, are we live? Are we good? Says video. Let me look at this. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, viewers will experience buffering. All right, chat. Are we buffering? Are we good? I don't know. Interesting. I think we're good. I think that was a little Spectrum burp, but we got 1 gig internet here, so I would be pretty upset if the stream was inconsistent. So chat, let me know if we're good now. If you guys did get a buffering, give me a message of confidence that we're back. Let me pull the chat back up though. There we go. It looks like we're back to excellent connection. All right. If Capella plays, then I don't see Collins. Okay. I hate the slate. It's too many stars to get it right. Says Priceless Fame. That's fine, though. The slates like this have benefits and negatives. Until further notice, the slate seems pretty evenly distributed on ownership, right? If like we don't have 70% owned DeMarcus Cousins, right, or Dwight Howard, somebody like that. Like if we can get a slate where the highest owned guy is like 30% and everything else is kind of mixed, I don't mind it. But if you also think the slate might be a little bit overwhelming, don't be too proud to go play some turbo slates or something like that. Chop this slate up, and it's certainly something that I think a lot more people need to really consider. If you're having some issues like that, man, make DFS your own, right? There's some turbo slates out there. There's tiers on DraftKings I think are underutilized. So yeah, if you're not getting a great feeling on the slate, change it up. Lorenzo says, imagine Collins guarding KD. Yeah, KD should do well. You having a stroke? We're good. No, I had the alert on my side screen here, so I was just making sure that we were still alive. All right, we're good. Skywalker Vet. Hey guys, sign up and become a star. A star of what? Super draft? Is that what we're talking about? Anyway, let's move on to the next game. Huh?
If Capella is out, if Capella is out, I mean, does like Collins or Trae Young become a tier 1 type of deal?
I think Collins is a little bit more interesting, but it seems like Capella will play. It seems like it. Because he played last night, right? But Collins will get a boost, but I don't think I could ever tier 1 him with a high level of confidence. One, he has historically had a little bit of foul issue. I know he did fine last time, but there's a lot of foul drawing MFers on that lineup. But yeah, man, 10-5. Watch Capella get there at 10-5, and we're just like, oh my god, at what point do we fade Capella? Yep. I will say that the Nets so far this season have allowed the lowest amount of blocks per game. And Capella triple-double with blocks, so maybe we take away some of that block upside, I can't get Doncic right this year. Same. Any interest in Anthony Gill? I'm assuming that's the question. I probably don't, but we did play him in EuroLeague. Let's move on to the next game. Denver Nuggets at the Miami Heat. Project starting 5 for the Nuggets. Jamal Murray, Gary Harris, Will Barton, Paul Millsap, and Nikola Jokic taking on Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, KZ Okpala, Kelly Olynyk, and Bam Adebayo. We got 219.5 total. The Heat are a team giving us a lot of cues to watch. We've definitely seen Tyler Hero miss quite a bit. So let's start from the top. Tyler Hero officially questionable. It's being listed as questionable for Wednesday's game with a neck injury. The neck injury has cost him 6 games, but it'll be interesting to see if he's cleared on Wednesday, with it being the first of a back-to-back. If he's able to get back out there, Andre Iguodala would lose some minutes and Kendrick Nunn's value would take a hit. That's from Tim Reynolds on Twitter. Goran Dragic, groin injury. He looked fine while dropping 21 points and 6 triples across 33 minutes on Monday, but he must have tweaked his groin in the process. We'll have a better idea on both Dragic and Hero following Wednesday's shoot-around. That's also from Tim Reynolds on Twitter. Gabe Vincent listed with an ankle. He's been on the injury report quite a bit this season, but in many instances that has been due to knee soreness. This time it's due to an ankle injury, so we'll have to wait and see. Also from Tim Reynolds on Twitter, Avery Bradley, questionable due to COVID protocol, has not played since January 9th. Jimmy Butler, out. Mo Harkless, out. Anyone else of note here? Chris Silva, out. So looks like we have to watch the status of Hero and Dragic. I don't know. I pulled Okpala from RotoWire, but I also have him for 0 minutes, so I have to double check that. There could be a scenario where Hero and Dragic are out. There could be a scenario where Hero sits and plays night 2 of a back-to-back tomorrow, or vice versa. So that'll certainly be something to watch. I think on DraftKings, 7K Tyler Hero against the Nuggets, I don't need that. If Dragic's out and we know Butler's out, like maybe there is a case, but I think right now, like, I don't have to force the issue right now of making plans to play Tyler Hero. Dragic has had opportunities so far without Tyler Hero, and he hasn't really crushed the slate yet. We've been leaning more on like a Kendrick Nunn or something like that. And then Bam Adebayo at 9-4 on FanDuel. I probably don't need to go there. 86 on DraftKings, a little bit more inviting. That's kind of right there in the Andre Drummond areas. And, 219 total. It's the Nuggets. The defensive rating isn't what a lot of people might think it is. Are you playing this game? Like, this is a big slate. We're gonna have to get rid of some of these games.
I think we have to wait for the news. If Dragic and Tyler Hero are out, then in that case, I mean,
is that a Dan Rather breaking news? What the F was that?
Phone call. My bad.
That's your ringtone, bruh.
It's like this background piano thing. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Okay, cool is the word.
I think Kendrick Nunn is definitely going to be. I mean, yeah, I'd lock him in if those two guys are both out. Even a guy like Bam, his usage would take a spike with both those guys out. So I think they're in play. If he's got to kind of wait out the news. And on Denver side, am I really getting to Jokic today at 10-5? I'm probably not getting to Jokic today. I set that price tag as like the other studs. You mentioned Beal, Trae Young, just 8K guys, 9K guys. Anthony Davis is 9K. I'd probably play him over Jokic today. So I think I might just be fading the Denver side. Jamal Murray at 7-1 is intriguing, but he's just so up and down. He'll either get you 45 or 20. So GBPs, he's fine, but other than that, not running to play it.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Like, Jokic at over 11K on FanDuel. Like, I like Jokic. I like the thought of Jokic, but do I get double overtime to extrapolate the ceiling here? Adebayo is usually a tougher matchup. The Heat definitely have struggled this season rebounding and just staying healthy. So anyone has a chip in a chair, but I'm probably going to be really low in this game unless some news.
So if Dragic and Hero are out, what do you do?
I mean, so like Kendrick Nunn is a thought, but even then I wouldn't think like it's a super consistent play at 65-57. Like, we've seen Kendrick Nunn start in seasons past and it just be a non-factor at the end of the day.
I would just think his usage would be like 25%, if not more. Him and Bam.
Yeah, like that. Like in this matchup, to me, that doesn't guarantee lucrativity. So I don't know. This might be one of those games I regret not having at the end of the day. But right now, I'm probably going to be a low man on this one. Let's see what the chat is. What's up with the disrespect today? I don't know, Ibsen. I don't know, man. I guess people just want a reaction.
People a little sassy.
You're not gonna get it from me. You're not gonna diss me. You'll never hear a reply on it. What was the Drake line? Isn't this a Cameron Payne revenge game? Yep, I'm guessing that it was a solo. Yep. Jokic at 10.5 is the cheapest he'll be all year. On DraftKings, sure. I mean, he still has triple-double potential. I guess on DK there's a little bit more merit. But, man, has a couple of his big games been the product of some bailout overtime. And it's, I don't know. Gun's a good dude in the chat, not getting tickets to the show. I don't know what they're doing that. Like, somebody, I mean, hey, if you're making all these burners to troll me, at least hit the subscribe button, inflate my numbers. But some guy is like spending his afternoon making burners. Gundecker's favorite McDonald's. Sure. Denver. Hold on. Denver. Gosh dang it. Denver defense is trash, especially for against point guard. I think that'll get better. I think Jamal Murray, Gary Harris will be better at defending point guards, but I just don't trust Kendrick Nunn like that. I don't think he's a bad thought if Hero and Dragic are out, but I also would say don't have overzealous expectations. I definitely think there's a range of outcomes where Nunn could just be 20, 25. Even 30 wouldn't break a slate, right? So I just would have tapered expectations. That's just me. 18. All right, let's move on to the next game. Lakers at the Philadelphia 76ers. Project 35 for the Lakers. Dennis Schroeder, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Marc Gasol, taking on Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Danny Green, Tobias Harris, and Joel Embiid. Who do we have? I need to get another mod or two in chat. 221.5 is our total, 3.5 point spread favor the visiting Lakers. You mentioned you kind of like Joel Embiid. I guess you put him against some studs, sure. I think this is a hard to read game, but Anthony Davis 9K on DraftKings.
So cheap.
Is that like the most disrespectful price of all time?
I mean, I just might have to tier one him just out of it's like it's such a disrespectful price.
It's low. It's low. No, So I'd definitely be a buyer at nothing. Like it almost doesn't matter what the matchup is. It's Anthony Davis at 9K. So yeah,
you'll see some Embiid, but he's also going to see some Tobias Harris defense, and it's just it's Anthony Davis.
So I'm with that. LeBron James went bananas against the Cavs. What do you have? A 21-point fourth quarter after office boy laughed at him for missing the last shot of the third quarter.
He should have got to 50 real life points. I don't know why he stopped.
Yeah, a little narrative driven there. Philly, of course, I believe was the site of him passing Kobe in the all-time scoring list. Ooh. And the next day, I think Kobe passed away. So we're almost on the timeline of that. So he is officially questionable, but he's been questionable all year. On the Sixers side, the Lakers, if we go to the team metrics chart, defensive rating, they are number one. And when we come to net rating, they are the number one. They're averaging wins at over 10 points a game. What does that do for your 76ers interest, if any? I know Ben Simmons last game made a lot of people sour, but a lot of it was foul trouble. What do you do with these Sixers? Embiid is Embiid, but are you going to have a lot?
I think it's just Embiid. Embiid for me, LeBron and AD. Just kind of interchange those guys in lineups. I think Embiid's just the type of guy to show up in a big game. 9-4 for what he's been doing. Pretty cheap price tag, coming off of 63, 58, 58. So, yeah, I mean, I feel that's a disrespectful price on Embiid a little bit. So, give me Embiid. LeBron's going to be LeBron. I think this game's going to stay competitive, so you should see his full allotment of minutes. Just play the studs in this game, not going to any of the peripherals.
Yeah, Adine says it's good that AD's in a tough matchup. That's all he needs to stay on the court. I mean, that's a good point. Just a 3.5 point spread, one of the lower spreads you'll see for the Lakers deep on the road. So AD at 9K on DraftKings, yeah, give it to me. And then, do you, if you think this is a competitive game, are you playing LeBron James? He just never gets any traction, slate to slate. And there's so much competition at this price range that he has to be the guy. I think if you get to the 10K price point on this side slate, you likely need the guy that's actually the guy. Like, there's going to be a 10K guy that probably exceeds the other ones by 10, 15 fantasy points. So when we look at the top, Luka, Giannis, Jokic, KD, Beal, and LeBron right there at 9-9. Where's your comfort level, your confidence level on LeBron playing 38 minutes against the Cavs?
I mean, I think he's going right back to 35 plus for sure, 36. 9-9, I'm with it. I think you'll see the minutes again. This game should be competitive. Possible finals matchup preview. It's possible.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I play the studs: LeBron, AD, and Embiid. I think someone mentioned Danny Green earlier. Not running to play Danny Green to get the revenge spot, but
can't do it.
Danny Green.
Not going to be able to do it.
Nope.
I'll say that Dennis Schroeder is a little cheap too, 5'7" to 5'5", just if you're projecting a close game. I still think there's a chance that the Sixers just get smoked here. But if you're projecting a close enough game, you can see Schroeder being a better play than Kendrick Nunn, right? Like just in a 1v1. I think there's a range of outcomes where Schroeder does it. So,
I think Nunn's upside is just significantly higher.
Adine says I haven't played LeBron or AD all year, but I'll have them both tonight. This game's going to be a good one to Star's going to go out there. It's on TV too. Jay Gentile, because they play tournaments and Embiid is probable, and they're playing the Lakers. I like that. James says, "Yo, mods need to get cracking." I only have 2 mods. I probably need to promote some more people, but it's just amazing to me that some guy right now is spending his Wednesday afternoon registering new Gmail accounts just to say one thing in chat, get no reaction, and then get banned, and just to go do it again. Those are life goals, I guess, man. It's tough times out here. Any interest on short on FanDuel? Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, bro. He's a little bit cheap. And I could see a couple of guys get overhyped in that range, like a Kendrick Nunn, to where Schroeder could still just be a 30, 40 fantasy point guy. I don't think that's the common range of outcome, but I think it is a range of outcome. Don't be surprised if he really has a fire next to his name. Who's that? Dwight? Oh, if Dwight Howard has that would be flop lag to the extreme. Phil Rogers' voice does not match his face. I thought he was a little kid from Jersey. No. He does. You ever listen to Aziz Ansari? That's Raj.
And bang.
Embiid's not gonna get in foul trouble. I don't think that's really a thing that he does. And I mean, obviously he could get in foul trouble, but it's not like a John Collins foul per minute type of situation where I'm too worried about it. Let's move on to the next game. Bucks at the Raptors. Project starting five for the Bucks. Drew Holiday, Dante DiVincenzo, Chris Middleton, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Brook Lopez taking on Kyle Lowry, Fred VanVleet, OG Anunoby, Pascal Siakam, Aaron Baines, 228 total 7-point spread in favor of the visiting Milwaukee Bucks. So a lopsided spread here, 7 points. The Giannis Antetokounmpo price point here, 11.3 on FanDuel, 10.7 on DraftKings. I think we're going to be able to argue a lot of people over him in terms of more competitive games and perhaps better spots and better opportunities at usage, like Beal, like AD, LeBron, even cheaper here. But can't deny that Giannis is in a good spot. Raptors have just been pretty porous on defense, and I think Giannis' strengths are the Raptors' weaknesses, right? If I look at the team metrics tab, first of all, points in the paint allowed per game. Toronto is Toronto's actually second best, but they do allow a high level of blocks. Toronto's top 5-6 in blocks allowed. They don't allow a ton of threes here, so they're still going to need a guy like Giannis to score. It's Giannis, right? But I think the question mark here is, do you, Raj, believe that the Raptors keep this game competitive enough, long enough for Giannis to be a viable play at this price point? Like, if Giannis drops 60, is he even needed on this slate, or is he just a good play that you're cool with having?
I mean, I think he could be the highest scoring on the slate. The Raptors are giving up a ton of points here. I expect this game to be close. OG Anunoby is questionable, but Siakam should return this game. So, I mean, Giannis the highest scorer on the slate. You're probably going to need him in a winning lineup. So, at 10-7, give me Giannis. He's the only Buck I really have in play. Drew Holiday is intriguing, but at 7-4, just on a comfortable click for me. On the Raptors side, if OG sits and Siakam plays, give me Siakam at 7-9. I think that's definitely has some upside there. And
you'd be in on Siakam, really?
I'd be in on Siakam, yeah, without OG.
At 7-9. 7-9 Siakam. Like, I get the idea of the play, but
yeah,
would you not? Jeremy Grant for 200 more. I don't know. I feel
I'd probably like Jeremy Grant more. He's been a little more consistent, but I think Siakam's upside is still there.
You know what I'm salty about? Norman Powell out here balling. I was like, well, wasn't it Siakam was out and Lowry and VanVleet were in? I was like, all right, there's no reason for me to play Norman Powell.
Yep.
That look up and do it as 40. I was like, son of a.
Yep. It's just I'm not going back. I'm not paying 6-1 for Norman Powell. It's just if he does it again, he does it again. I guess Fred VanVleet is interesting, even with Lowry there. This game's competitive. It's just a pace-up game. You know, two good teams going at it. So I think VanVleet has 45, 50-point upside. So give me some of him. And so VanVleet, some Siakam, and Giannis from this game for me.
I'm gonna make a call. Maybe not a call, but Brook Lopez, man.
Brook Lopez.
Here's the call. Let me pull up Brook Lopez's game log here. It's not maybe it's a prop bet. If you could find a prop bet that has Brook Lopez on blocks, this guy does get blocks. He doesn't get rebounds. He doesn't do much, but he gets blocks. The Toronto Raptors.
The last game against Atlanta.
Yeah, but so if we go to blocks per game allowed, Toronto Raptors giving up the 5th most blocks per game.
Okay.
I could see a 5-block game coming for Brook Lopez. I'm just saying.
I'll choose not to play someone.
So the thing is, like, I don't want to play him for DFS, but I'm just like looking at the matchup and looking at some of these metrics. I'm like, man, Brook Lopez is gonna have like 3 blocks in the first quarter, and people are gonna be like, no way.
Got it.
All right, chat. What are you guys doing with this game before we matriculate on to the next one? Rod's voice does not match his face. He looks even more soft. wait till they hear your song, Softy. Bro.
Talk about it.
KJ. Monkey Mex, this bro said your name looked like someone punched the keyboard. I think Mex on delay. That was a while back, but yeah. Rods, how do you even pronounce your name?
Government name Rajiv Nadesalingam, and then there's Jalen Carter, artist name.
Rajiv Nadesalingam.
Nadesalingam. Nadesalingam.
Okay, but De'Aaron Fox isn't a real name. Got it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
Just wonder, do you think Darius Garland's a good pick today? Heard his minutes restriction should be lifted. Says KJ. I probably don't push the issue on Garland. I probably will have no exposure from being honest. But there were games earlier this season where Darius Garland was doing his thing. So, like, if you had that feeling in your bad knee with the Stormer brewing, go do it. But I'm probably not there. Gasol's no threat for that anyway. Yep, Raptors got that blueprint on Giannis. Do they? Let's look it up there. Lorenzo, Giannis, and Antetokounmpo, DKP by game log versus Raptors last 10 games. Find me someone that types Giannis Antetokounmpo as fast as I do. Find me. Just don't worry. I'll wait. That blueprint on Giannis last 2 games, 61 and 77. But prior to that, 50s and 60s is what it is. What are the minutes here? 50s and 41, 42 and 39. Yeah. But I also think they were probably better suited to guard Giannis when they had the Ibakas, the Marcus Sauls, even the Kawhi. So I think this team right now is struggling, and it's been pretty evident in their day-to-day record and performances. Kay Johnson, what's up, Kay? Says, don't sleep on Middleton, silent killer lately. Chris Middleton is looking like, is he Giannis's Pippen? What's up, Naderall in the chat? Everyone liked the video so we can see Roger's song. Yeah, chat. If we get 100 likes on this video, when we're done with the stream, I'll roll the credits to Roger's new music video, Jalen Carter's "You Ain't the One." So if you guys want to see that, 100 likes. That's a big ask, But where's Damron? He's gonna clip that so it looks like I'm saying something else. A big. He's gonna take the K part out. Lorenzo says Garland is trade bait. Is he? I don't think he is. I think he's a young guy that they literally drafted to build around. I think the Cavs have pieces to build on. I think Andre Drummond is their trade bait, but I don't think anything past that. Let's move on to the next game here. Boston Celtics at the San Antonio Spurs. Project starting 5 for the Celtics. Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Daniel Tice, Tristan Thompson taking on Dejounte Murray, Lonnie Walker, DeMar DeRozan, Keldon Johnson, LaMarcus Aldridge, a 223 total, a 4-point spread in favor of the visiting Boston Celtics. Do I got this wrong? Is Kemba back? I think Kemba is back. So I pulled that from Roto World. So let's do that. Let's put Kemba in, and how do we? Let me pull up RotoWire here. I pulled it from RotoWire earlier. I've been noticing some of their lineups haven't been completely accurate, or maybe they're a little dated. So, looking at the Celtics for what they have now, it would be Kemba, Smart, Brown, Tatum, and no, they still have They have Marcus Smart. Chat, I'm not making this up. They have Marcus Smart. Right here. So don't hate on me. I'm just typing what they have. Let's go see what Lab says. Boston. Lab says Kemba, Smart, Brown, Tatum. That's kind of what I would guess. So let's do that. Let's go Kemba, Smart, Jaylen Brown at the 3, and Jason Tatum at the 4. Anyway, 223 total. Boston favored by 4. Spurs, I really don't think there's anyone on the Spurs I'm going to push the issue on. Aldridge, I'm probably not going to experiment with Aldridge here on this short slate or on this big slate. There's been several games so far where he's just so low priced. Him and Blake Griffin get that low price, and they just give you a wide range of outcomes, and you're never really that satisfied. Dejounte Murray on DraftKings 6,600. I do think it's cheap enough to have a couple darts, but I also just think we have to make stronger decisions, and I probably just cut all the Spurs here. On the Celtics side, Kemba on DraftKings 6,300. I think there's a chip in a chair at that price. I'm not pushing it. I do think there's a chip in a chair. Marcus Smart 6,600. I'm going to take a step backwards on Marcus Smart, but 2 nights ago I had Marcus Smart listed as a tier 1 in my VIP subscription tiers against the Bulls. He crushed it, but I think on a more neutral game with everyone there, with Kemba, Brown, Tatum, I think I take a step backwards, and if he's a 30 fantasy point play, that's what he needs to be. What do you do with this game? This game, like, no one's giving me the warm and fuzzies, but Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum have just kind of been breaking slates all year. But with Kemba in the mix, is there anyone that you're like, all right, in 20 lines, I got to have
I want to cross this game out. I feel like I want to cross this game out. Kemba Walker's price is intriguing. 6'3", just a really low price tag for him. But again, I mean, he's not seeing his full allotment of minutes yet. Tatum, Brown, I mean, this team is fully healthy again. Yeah, this game is just a scratch off for me. If one of these guys breaks the slate, so be it. I just lose tonight.
That's kind of where I'm at. Like, I won't deny that if you isolate a couple guys in this game at their price point, like, yeah, they could hit. But I think I think big slate, when I'm making my player pool, chat, if you guys don't know my process, I like to rip guys from games that I just think are in today's spot in the matchup, the total, the pace, their projected uses, their projected minutes. I like to rank them in tier 1s, tier 2s, tier 3s. So there's always going to be good plays that I don't have access to. But I can't have 5% of everyone, right? I got to have some guys here. And I just don't have a high level of confidence individually at some of these price points on the Celtics. I think Jaylen Brown on DraftKings 8,300 might continue to surprise some people, but man, I'm a sucker for Jeremy Grant. I just am, and there's enough competitors that I feel like I won't miss out on if these guys have average games, or even if we missed out on a 50 from Tatum, like at these prices, kind of what he needs. So I'm out on that. I have somewhat of I kind of want to take a shot on Dejounte Murray on DraftKings at 6'6". Like, he might be somebody that you put versus like a Kendrick Nunn if Hero and Dragic are out. I could see Murray being the better play than Nunn at the end of the day. So I don't know. That's just kind of where I'm at on that. And then DeRozan 7'9", 7'1". Not pushing the issue there either. So I'm probably gonna be low on this game. I might even be completely out on this game. See what you guys got in the live chat before we move on to the next one. Nathaniel Carby says Anunoby, pronounced Anunoby. Appreciate that, Nathaniel. Could you use it in a sentence? Gundacker says Anunoby.
Anunoby. Yeah, I say that too. OG Anunoby.
It is what it is. I like Tice here. That's about it. Van Jones, off topic. What do you think about Lonzo and Melly to Golden State for Oubre rumor trade? So I heard that in my Discord this morning or last night.
I just don't get it.
It doesn't make sense to me. Like, I don't feel like it fits a need for either team. The Warriors don't need a point guard, and the Pelicans don't need a small forward. Like, I guess if they're just trying to have a plan for life after Brandon Ingram, maybe. But I don't know. It just doesn't.
I thought they would keep Brandon Ingram. Why would you get rid of him?
I mean, it'll be up to Brandon Ingram, I guess. Right. And if the market's strong for him, which I think they will be. That's a real trade. Remember, Pelicans win that trade 100%. I don't understand the trade. I
guess Oubre could fit at the 2 guard. Oubre, Ingram, Zion. I mean, that's a nice little shooting guard, small forward, power forward spot.
I don't know. It just seems unnecessary. Like, I don't feel like it's filling holes. Anyway, did I miss any tier 1s? Gun says Ibsen Bracey. On FanDuel, I'm thinking Aaron Gordon at under 7K is going to get there for me. On DraftKings, Anthony Davis is dangerously cheap at 9K. I'm still kind of privy to Jeremy Grant. I would like Drummond so far, but I would especially like Drummond if Larry Nance is out, and it seems like he could be out. And then if Domantas Sabonis is out, I have a high level of interest in like a Malcolm Brogdon, Miles Turner, and even Jeremy Lamb. So there's a couple guys that could get there. For Pelicans to open up NAW, I think that would be the benefit there. Oubre's not it too. He's not. It makes no sense for either team, in my opinion. Why would Golden State want Lonzo Ball? He's not the Golden State seems like they want that stretch court of 3-point shooters, right? Like Lonzo Ball isn't that. It'd just be another Andrew Wiggins. I guess Wiggins is shooting a little bit more, but yikes. Wizards at the Pelicans, next game on the docket. Speaking of the Pelicans, I would be there to open up more minutes for NAW, but I don't think you need that trade to make that happen. Project starting five for the Wizards: Raul Neto, Bradley Beal, Jerome Robinson, Isaac Bonga, Robin Lopez taking on Lonzo Ball, Eric Bledsoe, Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, and Stone Cold Steven Adams. It's going to get one board. What? Hey, Royal Rumble this weekend. We'll be running squares. So Russell Westbrook is 92 of a back-to-back, so he's listed as out. Raul Neto is actually listed as questionable. He's dealing with a strained left groin. He returned from the injury on Tuesday to score 8 points with 5 rebounds, 3 blah, 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 blah. If he sits along with Westbrook, Cassius Winston. His mama name of Winston? Okay. And Jerome Robinson could see extended time. I also think that would be a boost for Garrison Matthews. So we're looking for Raul Neto confirmation. Bradley Beal without Russell Westbrook likely leads this team in minutes and everything else. Look at this. I mean, just look at this lineup, bro. Obviously, you guys know there's no Thomas Bryant and Davis Bertans and there's so many people injured. Rui Hachimura, Troy Brown. Like, Raj, you have the spreadsheet open?
I do.
In my projected rotation, Bradley Beal is the only person on the Wizards that averaged over 8-9 points a game. This is dumb. Like this poor guy.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
Oh my god. So yeah.
I mean, Jerome Robinson.
I mean, yeah, sure, but I'm just saying on the season, it's so bad. I feel bad for Bradley, but I also don't feel bad because $70 million. Anyway, Bradley Beal, I think I got him as one of my highest projected raw points guys. If I go to the projections chart, I got, sorted. I got Bradley Beal as the third highest projected DraftKings fantasy point accruer at 53. So, yeah, I got no pushback on Bradley Beal. It is 9-2 for back-to-back. It is an 8-point spread, so there's an argument that the Wizards could get blown out here. But Bradley Beal, obviously, somebody that's going to be highly sought after. Jerome Robinson, I got him projected for just about 33 minutes on FanDuel, 3,600. Those 33 minutes as a value play will probably get there for me, projected at 26 fantasy points. I'd take that. And then I would have some interest in like a Garrison Matthews or even a Cassius Winston, depending on.
Raul Neto?
Core
value?
Well, if Neto plays, he's dealing with a groin injury. If he did play, I don't think he's a core value. I think he's I don't want to say a trap value, but I think, people remember that 40-plus fantasy point game. And I think the more common range of outcomes maybe isn't that. I think, 20, 25 is what it is. I think he's a fine play, but he probably isn't going to be a core for me. DKP by, DKP without Russell Westbrook. Let's go last 10 games. So without Westy, we've got one game where he dropped 40. Everything else is like 20 or below. Like, don't forget who Raul Neto is. He's definitely not like a consistent slate breaker. So on the Pelicans side, Zion Williamson under AK, Brandon Ingram at AK or less on both sides as well. I think everyone's at a price point against this Wizards team, which what we're looking at could be the worst defense on the slate. The Nets are there. The Sacramento Kings are there if we look at season projected stuff. But, like, if you're just looking at today's rosters, I mean, this Wizards team is not an NBA team. So everyone on the Pelicans are priced at a point where they could hit Steven Adams, Zion, Ingram. Like, there's definitely a 50 to 60 fantasy point ceiling in a world today for an Ingram or a Zion. So I would probably have to have exposure to them. I haven't been playing Lonzo, but at 5'6", sure, he could get to 30 and be that better play than maybe a Kendrick Nunn if he picked up some steam. Decent total. I think the question here is Bradley Beal, Rods. I feel like sometimes I put myself as trying to play devil's advocate against Bradley Beal sometimes. Like, I remember that there was a game against Mikal Bridges and the Suns. I was like, yeah, it's a tough matchup, blah, blah, blah. Chris Paul, Suns' #1 defense. I'm just not going to do it. And Bradley Beal went out there and just demolished the Suns, for fantasy at least. Where do you put Bradley Beal in terms of ownership? Like, for you, like if you ran 20 lines, how many of those lineups have Bradley Beal?
I'm not like, I get the usage is all going to be there. I tend to. He's probably going to need 40 real life points. Pelicans are an incredibly slow team this year, bottom 5, I believe. It's not a team I usually target with.
I mean, the Suns were bottom 5 as well. Like these are all things that I have doubted Beal on up until this point.
Yeah, he got 64. I tend to again. I just like so many of these 8, 9K guys. I might just have like, I'm not going to fade him, but maybe just a 10%er. Just the way Slate's break down, I'm not in love with too many like guys in the 4K ranges yet, so I just think it's kind of hard to play him if I'm going to be playing like a Giannis. Like, I don't know, Giannis versus Beal 1v1, you're going Beal?
Probably.
Yeah. Or even versus Luka. But like those guys just, I feel like that's just not the way to go. Like those guys just, I think Giannis is going to be a competitive game, going to play a ton of minutes. This game has more blowout risk with Washington just so depleted.
Mm-hmm. But we've seen Bill kind of stay out there longer than maybe he should be. Anyway, I there's 41 minutes of sample size. Not a lot. I take off Davis Bertans, Westy, Thomas Bryant. 41 minutes of sample size. What do you think Bradley Beal's usage rate is?
37%.
50.1.
Okay, that's just nuts.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, again, it's 50%, maybe not sustainable, but like I said, I got one guy in this projected lineup that on the season is averaging over 9 real points a game. So, if he drops 60, who's shocked? If he drops 70, I don't know. I gotta have some, but I also have to balance myself versus the field. So I would love to kind of settle on what I think the field will have Beal at. Do you think Bradley Beal is over under 30% owned on this slate?
No, he'll be less than 30% for sure.
You think he's less than? I mean, I don't think there's a right or wrong answer now, but yeah. Okay. Do you think he's the highest owned player on this slate?
I think he'll end up being, but I don't think he should be.
Why not?
I think Brogdon should be the highest on the slate.
All right. I mean, I don't think that's a crazy take, but I'm curious. Yeah. Chat, what are we doing with this one before we matriculate on to the next one? By the way, chat, hit the thumbs up. Can we get 100 likes today? I don't think we're close. I haven't been paying attention, but if we get 100 likes, we'll close the show with the Jalen Carter hit single. You ain't the one.
Talk about it.
Sway says Zion would just run the 5. It makes sense for some Pels. Yeah. Oh, for that trade, yeah. Maybe. If Zion runs the 5, I need his rebounds to be more consistent. Van Jones, leave my Wizards alone, bro. Bill not going anywhere. I mean, he's locked in. Like, there's worse situations in life to be in than getting $30 million a year to be on a G League team. And he signed that extension, and they weren't looking good. So, it is what it is. I saw a stat last night that said Russell Westbrook has the same amount of points on the season as shot attempts. You probably want more than that. But, yeah, it's a tough stretch for the Wiz. They're also just dealing with injuries and COVID. Like, Thomas Bryant going down, Hachimura, Davis Bertans. Like, he just has no help. And what are you going to do? Like the video up there. Yeah, appreciate that. Ingles, probably the highest owned player. Okay, buddy. Is that it? Like, was that a joke?
No, I mean, he might.
Did something happen?
Value guy? Donovan Mitchell's out, right?
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah, Mitchell's out.
Man, I might have missed that before I went live.
Key news.
He was limited last week. Where did you hear? I don't have Neto limited. I just have him questionable with the left groin. All right, let's move on to the next game. Oklahoma City Thunder at the Phoenix Suns. Project starting 5 for the Thunder. SGA, George Hill, Lou Dort, Darius Baisley, Al Horford. Taking on Chris Paul, Mikal Bridges, Jay Crowder, Cameron Johnson, DeAndre Ayton, Devin Booker out for the Suns here. Suns played without Booker last time out. Went to extra innings against the Nuggets here. So Chris Paul, 7'4", 7.6K, could be a guy that just pushes us to 40-plus fantasy points against his old teammates, SGA and the Thunder. Intriguing played there. And then DeAndre Ayton in the mix, 8.3 to 7.3. I got him at 34 minutes. I think this could be the spot for DeAndre Ayton to maybe turn some heads for lineups tonight. 38, 37 minutes, some back-to-back overtime games. But without Devin Booker, I expect his usage to increase, and I expect the matchup to be a little bit better than the Denver Nuggets here. So could I get a double-double here against the Thunder and the rebounding styles of potentially Al Horford if he's back? Al Horford's not guaranteed to be back, but I do think this could be the, hey, don't forget that the Suns don't have Devin Booker, and the field forgets that the Suns have no Devin Booker. Let's go look at the injury report for the Oklahoma City Thunder. So George Hill, I got him listed as questionable with a right thumb sprain. He sat out Monday's contest against the Blazers, but he has been upgraded to questionable against Phoenix. He'll likely go through morning shoot around, see where he's at there. And then Al Horford, questionable to play. He hasn't played since January 12th, and he isn't likely to return until OKC plays at home on Friday. So there's probably a strong chance that Al Horford misses this one. You might continue to see Isaiah Roby to start in his place and a guy like Mike Muscala. So I think Chris Paul, somebody that could feed is big here. And I think this could be that, like, if Ayton has 50 tonight, under the circumstances, are you shocked?
Ayton's a tier 1 for me. He's a tier 1. Yeah, I mean, no Devin Booker. I mean, you've seen what he's done the past couple of games. Points are there. I mean, rebounds are there.
So just a reminder, against OKC, the last game, Enes Kanter had 22 rebounds.
I mean, there you go. And it's Kanter, too. So, I mean,
hey, don't don't disrespect Enes Kanter.
I guess that's Kanter. Yeah,
it's the home.
Some good things. But Ayton, give me Ayton. I mean, Chris Paul, no Devin Booker. I like it. Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton handcuff.
I like that handcuff, and I'm not gonna. Damian Lillard and Enes Kanter combined for 100 DraftKings points against the Thunder, 50-50.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say Paul and Ayton do 50-50. I could see Ayton being a 50, though. Like, I could see people perhaps sleep on that.
Paul took 20 shots last game. Did they go into overtime?
Yeah, the last two games for the Suns against the Nuggets went to overtime.
Overtime, okay. That'll explain the minutes. So give me Ayton. I mean, Chris Paul is 7'6". If he's still going to, I mean, I do expect to take a little bit more shots. So him and Bridges, I think one of those guys definitely goes off. Which one at their price tag? You can just, kind of have a coin flip there. But give me those two. OKC side, I mean, just give me SGA every day. He just gets 50s every day. 50, 40, 49. Decent spot for him. I like it.
Yeah, I'm in agreement for the most part there. I think SGA is going to be a question for me, because I do think this 8K range gets interesting. Here's a fun one. If Sabonis is out, would you rather prioritize the 2v2 of Brogdon and Miles Turner or Chris Paul and DeAndre Ayton?
Probably Brogdon and Turner.
Think so? Okay.
Yeah.
Turner is $200 more than Ayton, and Brogdon's a little bit more than Chris Paul. So
I mean, my three highest owned guys on the slate will probably be Brogdon, Turner, and Ayton. And Chris Paul is just a tier, a couple tiers below. He's just not as. I don't think he'll be as consistent as those guys.
Okay, Abdul Nader revenge game, by the way. SGA 8,500. So, is there a world where you ever click SGA over Brogdon tonight if Sabonis is out?
I mean, I'm gonna have way more Brogdon, but I don't think SGA's a fade.
I don't think he's a fade, but I think in a 1v1, if I had to bank on who scores more fantasy points,
it's Brogdon.
It's Brogdon? Okay.
Brogdon's probably my highest owned guy.
All right, Phoenix 7.5-point favorites here. Chat, what are you doing with this one? Mitchell's out. Yeah, I got Mitchell out. I wrote it down here. Like, I had Ingles already. I just didn't. When I was typing, I just wasn't even paying attention. I was just typing. Neto was reported on a minutes limit. I didn't know. We back. Blah, blah, blah. Stack him, Paul Johnson, Ayton. Says K. Johnson. I'm with that. Johnson or Crowder? So Cam Johnson or Jay Crowder? I Crowder for one more fantasy point, so it's essentially a literal coin flip. I would say they're both cheap enough to throw some darts at too, but probably a literal coin flip. I don't know if DVP is going to be more welcoming here. Where's OKC at? Okay. Oh wow, DVP for wings and centers against OKC is pretty rough. Man, shots. Their coin flip, even their stats are just the same. I guess we can look at that last game or the last two games. I don't know. Let's just go pull up the Suns here. It's probably worth pulling up a Suns usage check here. Let's take off Devin Booker. Where we at? Devin. And let's put Ayton on. Let's put Chris Paul on. Let's just put those two on, kind of see where we land. It's pretty evenly distributed. Ayton's at 21.5% usage rate, but he is over a fantasy point per minute. Chris Paul's at a fantasy point per minute on 23.3% usage rate. Cameron Johnson actually leads this slot with 24% and 1.2 fantasy point per minute. So they're all like a fantasy point per minute here without Booker. So it could just be very stackable. Yeah. Hiya. Okay. What? Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next game. So I might expect Horford to be out. Mavericks at the Utah Jazz. Project starting five for the Mavs. Luka Doncic, Jalen Brunson, Tim Hardaway Jr., Kristaps Porzingis, and Willie Cauley-Stein taking on Mike Conley, Joe Ingles, Bojan Bogdanovic, Royce O'Neal, and Rudy Gobert. We got a 219.5 total, 2.5 point spread in favor of the Utah Jazz. Donovan Mitchell out with a concussion. I got Maxi Kleber out. And I got a bunch of Qs on the Mavs side. I didn't know what to do with them. So I put all the Qs in on the projected bench. And it gives me some time to come back later and edit it. So let me go check out the Dallas injury report here and see if I can't get us a little bit more clear expectation on what to expect with these Q Mavs guys that I had from earlier. I got Josh Richardson probable, Dorian Finney-Smith probable, Dwight Powell questionable. So I put Smith in for 25 and Josh Richardson in for 25. So just know that this projected Mavericks starting five on the screen is likely not going to be the actual starting five tonight. But help is on the way. Luka Doncic has some recruits back, and that probably means I'm not going to touch any Maverick. Outside of Luka and maybe a shot or two of Porzingis, I don't see myself playing anybody else from the Mavs tonight. On the Utah Jazz side, so without Donovan Mitchell, definitely an opportunity opening up here for Utah Jazz. And since we're in the usage check mood, let's go take off D-Mitch. And I don't know who we put on. We put on Conley and Gobert, I guess, and just kind of see what that nets us. So Conley, Gobert on, Donovan Mitchell off, using the on-off court tool from Fantasy Labs. It's a free tool. Go check it out. 167 minutes of sample size. We got a 16% usage rate for Gobert. Mike Conley's at 23%. Conley's at 0.9 fantasy point per minute. Gobert at 1.1. And then Jordan Clarkson is at a 29% usage rate. And when I saw Donovan Mitchell out, my mind went to Clarkson before it went to Joe Ingles.
Okay. That makes sense. I mean, yeah, he should get all the second unit. If Joe Ingles starts, it should be Clarkson's show.
Yeah, Ingles in 110 minutes of sample size in this scenario, though, is averaging 1.3 fantasy points per minute so far. So on paper, it looks fine. Definitely, I wouldn't push back on any of them. Like if you going, I want to play Conley, I want to play Ingles, I want to play.
I think Bogdanovic is a guy who I might be high on.
You think so? What's he in this? He is at a 15% usage rate with a fantasy point per minute. So again, we're under 170 minutes sample size. Like it's not much. So yeah, I mean it is what it is. I think this whole team is really kind of stackable. If you thought this game put up a decent chunk of points, right? 6,100 for Conley here. I mean Donovan Mitchell. We look at what Donovan Mitchell represents. I'll just type him in the spreadsheet to show you guys. He represents 24 real points a game, probably 35 minutes a game. So it's going to make up some responsibility. So I wouldn't push back. And I wouldn't even hate if you were like, all right, I'm going to take some Royce O'Neal in the mix too. But I don't like this matchup much for O'Neal if we see Porzingis and DFS on the other side. So it's probably just Jordan Clarkson at 5'9", 5'3", bro. Like, how do I not? There's not really many game scripts where I don't put 30 minutes of Clarkson here. And for me, I think I want Clarkson more if he's not starting. Like, if Joe Ingles is starting in lieu of Mitchell, you give me all the Clarkson as the sixth man here. Clarkson, do I tier 1 that? It's close, bro. It's close. It'll definitely be a tier 2A. But I love the idea of Clarkson. What are you doing here?
I mean, you mentioned the guys. I think Bogdanovich is going to see a big usage bump. Should take a few more shots in the first unit with Mitchell sitting. I mean, Mike Conley's intriguing. I mean, he's going to have even more ball handling with no Mitchell to kind of relieve him of his duties in the first unit. You have Ingles, who's probably going to start, and then you have Jordan Clarkson, who's going to see all the usage in the second unit. So, I mean, all those guys in play. Which one? Again, I think just kind of flipping a coin. I think probably 2 of those guys smash their price, and the other guys kind of flop. Which 2? You just got to play all of them and figure out. Dallas slide. I mean, Utah's playing faster. Give me Luka. 10-9 could easily be the highest score on the slate. Coming off of 86 DK points. Don't expect that again, but 70 plus wouldn't be shocked. And Porzingis at 8-2. Get to Porzingis today. I think it's a cheap price tag. Should get you 40. Last game 16-6, going up against Denver. Luka was taking up all the rebounds, but I expect Porzingis to have bounce back and get you mid 40s at 8-2, which is okay.
So the biggest hole for fantasy success in the Mavs lately have been centers. Jokic 43 DraftKings points, 34 minutes. DeMarcus Cousins 58 and a quarter in 30 minutes. LaMarcus Aldridge, and we know how bad he's been. 31 minutes against this Mavs team, 43.75 DKP, had 9 boards, 11 for 18 shooting. Domantas Sabonis 46 and a half in 41 minutes. Aaron Baines only had a buck and a quarter in 12 minutes. One thing I would say, all those centers combined. None of those centers I just named had more than 1 block. The Mavs are allowing amongst the fewest blocks per game, which is something that I do want from Rudy to maybe get closer to his ceiling. He's averaging almost 3 blocks per game, so it'll meet in the middle projection wise. But yeah, Gobert at 7,200. Remember, he dropped 50 last night. You could definitely see Mike Conley feeding his big man here where he can. But yeah, I think Clarkson is going to be the guy I'm leaning on the most here. I got Ingles in here twice. Chat, what do you do with this one before we move on to the next game? Sway McThunder, Clarkson's definitely a smash. EB, yo, Raj, the video for me is corny, but you got heck of talent, and I think you're going somewhere. Keep it up.
Hey, appreciate it. I'm a pretty corny dude. I'm with it.
Sway says in this late size, there are plenty of players with under 5%. Yeah, I think so far, unless we get like can't fade news, like LeBron was out or something, you know what I'm saying? Something like that. I don't think we're going to see a lot of egregious chalk. It's not like Dwight Howard 70% or DeMarcus Cousins 70%. I don't think we're going to get a lot of that. We might get 1 or 2 players that float 30+%. Like if Sabonis was out, I could see some hype on a Turner or Brogdon, or if Dragic and Hero were out, maybe Kendrick Nunn gets overrun. But it seems like one of the more balanced slates from an ownership projection for now, at least. Anyway, where are we at here, chat? We got 1 game left on the docket. Let's do some plugs. Chat, help me up. Give me those thumbs ups. If you guys aren't subscribed to the channel, you like these streams, and you want to get that, you want to be notified when we go live. We usually go live every day. Make sure you hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell notification. That actually will give you a push notification on your phone if you use YouTube on your phone. That I'm live. Or if you don't have that, follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/GundeckerSports. I usually will tweet out the stream when I am about to go live or right when I go live. Usually if it's a big slate, like more than six games, you can expect us live about 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, and a little smaller, I go an hour later at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central, depending on the slate start time. If you guys get us near that 100 like threshold, we'll close the stream with Raj's music video, legit music video. We do have another game to break down. Yesterday, we launched the All-Star to All-Star Break Pass, so if you guys want to get locked in on that, the idea behind this one is the NBA All-Star Break to the MLB All-Star Break, daily spreadsheet access, 24/7 Discord access, the pre-lock voice chats. This will also encompass anything that's in the Discord. Smeezy, our crew chief from NASCAR, Kyle's helping us out with NHL. We released this a couple weeks early, so it would be be more valuable now if you got it. It says All-Star to All-Star break, but if you got it now, you would get the next 2 weeks built in. So check that out. But we still have the week passes, 2-week passes, month passes, all that good stuff. So if you want to support the stream, support the site, and get something in return, get access to my proprietary spreadsheets, my projections, my personal player pool on both sites, and probably most lucrative, I think this is what everyone's here for, the RunDFS.com NBA VIP Discord for the 2 hours preceding lock. We're in the voice chat. We're shooting the breeze. We're hanging out. It's a lot of friends, a lot of fraternal discussions, but we're making lineups. We're grinding out our lineups, and we're serious when we need to be. So if you guys want to make some friends in the DFS community, go to RunDFS.com, make yourself an account, and make sure you get in the Discord. You absolutely have to get into Discord to really get the most of it. And you see we have the bot Dacker giving us up-to-the-minute tweets from all of the reputable news sources. And then, of course, when something drops, somebody's out mid-slate, usually somebody will hit that everyone tag right away. You'll get that notification instantly on your phone, and you'll be in the know. And then we'll talk about the boost and whatnot for late swap options and stuff like that. So support the stream, support the site, get something in return. Would love to have you there. Chat. Let's get caught up on chat before we get into the main event tonight. What's up, Gunn, Wiggins, and Steph with the Beasley run back? What's up, Shane Alexander? Hope you're doing all right. I don't hate the concept of that. You can pay up for a 10K guy that no one's talking about. That's a better strategy. Yep. Desmond Morris says, DFS ticks me off. You'll be picking someone who is almost a guaranteed to get 60, but then they finish with 13. Yeah, it do be like that sometimes. But it is what it is. That's DFS. You know, we play for the good nights. Minnesota Timberwolves at the Golden State Warriors. Your main event tonight. Project starting 5 for the T-Wolves. D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, Josh Okogie, Jared Vanderbilt, Naz Reid taking on Steph Curry, Andrew Wiggins, Kelly Oubre Jr., Draymond Green, and Kevin Looney. 229 total, 9-point spread in favor of the Golden State Warriors. This is a run back of what we saw the other night. The only caveat here is D'Angelo Russell isn't officially out yet. Let me go pull up the Timberwolves injury report on him. D-Ross listed as questionable with a quad contusion. He was held out of Monday's loss to the Warriors, which freed up a spot in the starting lineup for Ricky Rubio. Rubio's fantasy value would take a hit if Russell's cleared to play. So watch out for the status on D'Angelo Russell. Raj, what the F am I hearing? 7,500 for D-Ross on FanDuel, 8,300 on DraftKings. Certainly would be a guy that probably no one's preloading into their lineups right now. Maybe if you knew for a fact right now that D-Ross was in, you'd be a little heavier invested. But there's plenty of guys in that area like the Malcolm Brogdons, the Chris Pauls, where you just feel like D-Ross doesn't have to be part of your plans now. But certainly DFS being what DFS is, it would be very trolly for D-Ross to be in the mix tonight and then have a big game here in a lineup that doesn't include Cat. We know his usage will lead the squad. Malik Beasley, 6,700 on both sites. If D-Ross misses, certainly somebody that we could see drop 30+. On the Warrior side, Steph Curry, 9.6, 9.3. Raj, we were all over this the other night, right? The price difference, the price difference between Curry and Damian Lillard was $1,100, and we thought the range of outcomes was very similar. And I thought if I can get the same range of outcomes for $1,100 cheaper, why not get Steph Curry? Now, did get the benefit of Steph Curry just coming in for no reason in the fourth quarter and just going bananas. But it's still one of the softest. It's, I think, statistically the softest matchup. I guess the Kings are softer statistically, but think about how bad the Minnesota defense has been this season, with and without Cat and D-Ross, and now potentially there could be no Cat, no D-Ross. So their defensive efficiency is going to be really, really poor. It could be one of the worst on the slate. And I think Steph Curry's in a unique run-back spot. Price didn't really move a whole lot. I think there's a fun 1v1. Like, could Steph Curry versus Damian Lillard be today's Steph Curry versus Bradley Beal? Maybe.
Curry versus Trae Young.
Yeah. So it's a fun run back here for Steph Curry if you guys want to take a gamble on him. I think 50+ fantasy points is a reasonable range of outcomes. Kelly Oubre Jr. under 6K on both sides. Definitely has a chip and a chair for 30 fantasy points in this spot. Wiggins for Vens, not as fun.
Wiggins and Malik Beasley both kind of 6K guys got 40+ last game. I was on Malik Beasley, was not on Wiggins, but both those guys were winning tournament lineup production. So don't hate it. Those two guys at their prices definitely got some upside. I don't know how much Curry I'll get to just because Anthony Davis 9K, Brogdon is 8-6. You have Trae Young. I feel like I need some, but I just don't think in 20 lineups I might have 0 Curry.
You might have 0 Curry?
In 20 lineups, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. I think the 8K area is strong enough to where that sentence isn't stunning. But I got him projected at 52 DKP. So if I look at my player projections, that's top 5 on the slate.
Strong.
Yeah, it's up there. I mean, it's a wonderful late night hammer. Other thing to note is James Wiseman came off the bench. Then I guess at 5K I'm still out, but if he's going to get some more run time here opposite of Curry, I think his usage will produce some stronger fantasy point games coming soon, but probably not now for me. But yeah, I think this game's normal. Jared Vanderbilt still has potential to be over a fantasy point per minute and surprise some people. 5-4. I think there's a moderate risk reward, maybe balance there. 30 plus fantasy points is kind of what I want on this slate. But there's still a range of outcomes for him to maybe push 35, 40. And then Anthony Edwards, if D'Angelo Russell was out, man, I'm telling you, this guy's a walking highlight reel. He's trying to be. His shot volume really high per minute, double-digit shot attempts. We've seen 14 and 20. If D. Russ is out, I would probably have a couple of shares of Edwards at 4,500, and hoping that soon the 30% shooting night turns into a 50-60%, and he's able to drop a 4,500 30 fantasy point game. So in deep field tournaments, I'm watching D'Angelo Russell status. So maybe midway through the night, right, I could turn some Crowders or Cam Johnsons into Anthony Edwards if I felt like I needed to get a little freakier if the D-Russ news came out midway through the slate. So something to keep an eye on. Edwards had a poster in that game. But yeah, chat, what do you guys do on this one before we get out of here? Be sure to hit that thumbs up before you guys get out of here. And if you do, we'll close out on Raj's video. In about right after this stream, I'll be in the RunDFS.com VIP Discord. So if you want to continue the conversation, go to RunDFS.com. Get yourself locked in. So I would be looking forward to see you guys there. Tomorrow's slate. What is tomorrow? I think is a 4-gamer NBA schedule. Tomorrow I think is a 4-gamer. 2-4. Yeah. Blazers at Rockets. It's a late lock. Clippers at Heat, Lakers at Pistons, and Warriors at Suns. So it's a late lock 4-gamer. So tomorrow would probably be a 4 p.m., 3 p.m. Central stream, 4 p.m. Eastern. So look out for that. But otherwise, I'll be in the Discord. All right, Raj, the people, we're at 69 likes. Do the people no thumbs down? As much trolling we had. Do the people get the video? Should we give them the video?
People get the video. You know what? Give the people the video. Give the people what they want.
All right, chat. We're going to close out on Raj's video. For those who don't know, Raj is a R&B singer out of Canada.
Jalen Carter, baby.
And we'll jam out a little bit before we get into the Discord. I appreciate you guys watching live today. I'll be back tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, right? And then, yeah. All right, let me maximize this. We'll go maximize on the let me get it on the big screen. We'll maximize on the big screen, and then chat. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I appreciate you guys hanging out. If you guys aren't in the VIP, hope you crushed it tonight. Hit me up on Twitter. Let me know how you did. And otherwise, we'll be back tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, hanging out. I will see you guys then. I love you guys. Good luck. God bless. Go win some money. Enjoy this Raj banger. Hype him up in the chat and go find the video. I'll see you guys next time. Love you guys. Later.
Y'all to produce, diamonds the boots.
Ain't who I thought you were. Your confidence ain't sure.
You're talking insecure. Your smile ain't really pure. I think we lost the flame. It's time to turn the page. How long we talking about you? I'm going insane. Always was a fool for you. Why you gotta be so rude? All your lies just speak the truth. Can't believe I wanted you. You ain't the one. 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 Baby girl, you ain't the one. This ain't your fairy tale. I'm not your charming prince. I got no loving spell. You fooled me once or twice. Third time I have to bail. Your invite's in the mail. Skip going, go to jail. You ain't quite it. The one that I'ma bring home to my mom. You ain't the one. No, you ain't the one. 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 Always was a fool for you. Why you gotta be so rude? All your lies just speak the truth. Can't believe I wanted you. Gotta forget you and leave. Was never your priority. Are you the right one for me? I don't need to see to believe.